Nova finishes up 1288 at 107.76.
You good? Almost.
Bob Lash coming up in the left-hand lane, St. George, Kansas. Josh Walton coming up, Omaha, Nebraska, 88 Monte Carlo in the right-hand lane. Allo Nova in the left-hand lane. He's a big bracket racer around this area. Runs at Topeka, Manhattan racetracks quite a bit. Makes it down this way a little bit. Bracket racer, drives it everywhere. Right-hand lane chases him down. Right-hand finishes up 1181 at 121. Left-hand lane for Bob Lash, 1242, 107. Tom DeZingle from West Allis, Wisconsin, 40 Ford sedan. Dan Shipley out of Missouri. Shipley finishes up 1022 at 132. Tom goes 1318 at 128. Timothy Taylor out of Lawrence, Kansas, 68 Camaro in the left-hand lane. 70 Nova. Run down. Finishing up quarter mile. 12. 70s Nova finishing up 1397 at 101.98. Chad Hartman, Omaha, Nebraska, 63 Nova left-hand lane. Joseph Greer, Gower, Missouri, coming up in the 01 Corvette. Sounds like Nova's got a little turbo to it there, then taking off. $11.69 at 100 in the left, $11.67 in the right. 128. Mark Swank coming up in the left hand. Bob Sanders coming up. Glencoe, California. 1941 Chevy Deluxe 4-door. Red lights to start in the left-hand lane for Mark. Mark finished up quarter mile 13:21 at 103. Bob's going to finish up in that beautiful 41 Deluxe 16:43 at 84 mile an hour. Jerry Barnes coming up in the 07 Chevy pickup truck. Dan Wilcox, Baldwin, Kansas, coming out here in the Wilcox runs through the quarter mile, goes 13:15 at 103. Barnes finished up 15:20 and 91 in the Duramax. Neil Dow coming up here in Lone Jack, Missouri, 06 Chevy Duramax again. Come up here, Doug Ray, 69 Camaro out of Pratt, Kansas. Doug Ray Chevrolet, I do believe. Also has a really nice looking 63 Corvette running out here in the top sportsman class for NHRA Lucas Oil Series. nice looking 69 Camaro, 1170 and 119. Dow's going to go 1373 and 102 in that Duramax. Hey, just a little reminder, anybody, if you got a pickup truck or something, we had a little bit of stuff fly out of that last truck. If you have a pickup truck and you have things in the bed, please remove all sorts of loose debris before you come down the track. We don't need things sliding and hitting your tailgate or flying out of the bed of your truck. Just takes a little bit more time to pick that stuff up. So if you could... Bryce Hungerford, right-hand lane, 95 Camaro from Canada. Mark Drim, 95 Camaro in the left-hand lane. Tire shake there for the turbo. Going to just roll right on through. 1042 to 139. Left hand lane's going to finish up 1320 at 103. Jeffrey Lutz coming up in the 91 Sonoma Cyclone. Beautiful looking truck. I'm from McPherson. Got the chance to stop her house in McPherson, where they had to take a picture last night at their checkpoint with the Coca-Cola sign. And this Cyclone, you open the hood. If you just don't pay attention to the passenger side of the hood, you wouldn't know it's much more than a Cyclone. So, Bob Larson in the right-hand lane coming up from Rossville, Kansas, 38 Dodge Coupe. That Cyclone. Off and running. Watch him. He's going to come down there. He's going to just about beat the Dodge Coupe. Dodge Coupe's going to finish up first, though, 1358. Jeffrey Lutz coming through 1144 at 119. Dominic Zavak coming up, 73 Camaro, left-hand lane. Richard DePrivnik coming up, Omaha, Nebraska, 37 Willys, 4 door sedan. Camaro's off and run, 050 is the light, 043 in the Camaro. Richard goes to seat 84, 1 in the Willys. Sean Anderson coming up here at Bay City, 63 Fairlane 500. Ross Dudley coming up out of Canada, 68 Roadrunner. Wow, nice looking light for Sean, 013 on the tree. Dudley just a little early. Dudley finished up the quarter mile. He goes 11.95 at 113. Sean Anderson, 12.37 and 108. Well, I'd like to just again welcome everybody to SCRA Drag Strip. Thanks for coming out to Drag Week. Want to remind you over here we got concession stand, real good food at real good prices. Go ahead and head on over there if you're hungry, thirsty. We got breakfast food. Going to have lunch later on. Like I was saying earlier, I got a chance to meet some of these people last night in McPherson. And a lot of real there. If they don't look busy, I'm sure they'll take a minute to talk to you about their cars. These guys talked to a guy last night, pulled his car out of a barn, had been sitting there 5 or 6 years, decided to build an engine, put a cage in it, and off they went. They got running 1 week ago Saturday. Coming up to Topeka, Kansas, 86 Buick Regal. Scott Abbott coming up, Huntertown, Indiana, 70 Roadrunner. I guess in the right-hand lane, I would say the Regal happens to be a Grand National. Red light start on the right-hand lane, left-hand lane. A little bit behind, but doing good still. Right-hand lane's going to lead the old Roadrunner through the quarter mile. The Regal finishes up 11.77 and 119. Left-hand lane goes 11.74 and 117. William Torres coming up out of Blue Springs, Missouri in the 72 Le Mans right-hand lane. Good looking 67 Camaro RS. Colorado, yes. Struck going through the quarter mile, 15.53 at 88 mile an hour. Torres, 17.70 at 77 in the Le Mans. John Hubbard, St. Louis, Missouri, 79 Mustang in the left-hand lane. Richard Smith, Barnhart, Missouri, 75 Mustang in the right. Or I'm sorry, 95 Mustang in the right. Wheels up for the turbocharged Mustang, a little to the right. Mustang's holding down there. Right-hand lane took just a little longer to get the turbocharger whipped up. Left-hand lane finished up 983, 142. That's one of your higher qualifiers. 1169 and 107 in the right-hand lane. Probably not too happy for that with Smith. He'll probably come back up and try something a little different. Mike Cox coming up out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 53 Ford Custom line. Left-hand lane, Doug Wheeler, Wisconsin, 68 Nova. Left-hand lane for Doug Wheeler, just a little bit ahead. 1269 at 103. Mike Cox, 1284 at 108. Kurt Johnson coming up in the 91 Mustang left-hand lane. One of the Mustangs I got to see pulling to town last night with a group of them. Jerry Lamb, West Fargo, North Dakota in the 84 Camaro. Wheels up lead for Kurt Johnson in the 91 Mustang. Going to finish up in his 914 last pass, 151. Lambert's finishes the quarter mile. 1690 at 8064. Jimmy Dean Jr. coming up out of Minnesota in the 72 Camaro. And another Kurt Johnson in the right-hand lane, 91 Mustang. I wonder if that's a group of Kurt Johnsons that all have black notchback Mustangs traveling together. This Kurt Johnson, though, goes 941, 91 Mustang, 52 at 123. Todd Berry coming up the left-hand lane out of Alabama. 55 Chevy pickup in the left-hand lane. Danny Morrison, Springville, Alabama. 66 Fairlane. Tell you what, that's a good-looking 55 Chevy pickup. And it runs pretty well, too. Chevy pickup goes through 1096 at 121. Fairlane, 1246 at 108. Patrick Heng coming up out of Lincoln, Nebraska, 90 Buick LeSabre front-wheel drive. Out of Nevada coming up, 77 Skylark. $13.72 at 149 for the left-hand lane. Burns finishes up $13.57 at 105. This is one you want to be on your feet to watch. Larry Larson out of Oak Grove, Missouri, 66 Chevy 2. This car has been known to get into the sixes at over 200 miles per hour. Larry Larson from Larson Race Cars. Not so happy with the burnout. Want to try that one more time. All right, there we go. That's a little better. I'm told he went a 732 in Topeka yesterday. Made the drive on down, made it stop. All right, rolling up the line. Get your cameras, get your camcorders ready, because this car should move. the 66 Chevy 2. Larson 2017 203, a little bit better than yesterday, but look at that mile an hour. Larson is the first person to enter the 200-mile-an-hour club for Hot Rod Magazine. So, while we put our hands together, that's a pretty good pass for Larry Larson. He'll be back. He'll do better. Tim Reed, Kansas City, Kansas, 79 Ford Pinto coming up. Now, if anybody's over the Ford Pinto, let me know if it was this quick. This Ford Pinto will finish up 816 at 169 miles per hour. Chris Watkins coming up, Kansas City, Kansas, 36 International Rat Rod. Looks like might have messed something up in the old 3-speed. Brought the clutch off the floor, and the transmission said, maybe not today. He'll take it back, hopefully get it fixed up, be ready to go for another pass today. Coming up, Fremont. Third member. So if you see that car, Gary Ross, Leavenworth, Kansas, in the Mustang, 1077 125. John Ebb coming up, Fairbury, Nebraska, 80 Camaro in the left-hand lane. Glenn Sheely, Walden, New York, 06 Corvette. John in the left-hand lane, and the Camaro goes 028. 124. George Browning, Sarasota, Florida, 91 Mustang. I think we might have the wrong vehicle because I'm disagreeing with the Mustang part in the left-hand lane. Got the right-hand blinker on. Gary Williams, Lee Summit, Missouri, 99 Camaro SS. Camaro in the right-hand lane, big block car, naturally aspirated. Little power adders. 1420 at 98. Rodney Munchiendo coming up Clarkston, Michigan, 68 Dodge Dart. Steven Mashburn coming up Independence, Missouri, 99 Camaro. The daily driver class over there in the right-hand lane. We'll finish up the quarter mile first, running through 12:02 at 113. Rodney goes 13:06 at 100 in that 68 Dart. Darren Payne coming up, Illinois, 73 Vega. Mark Swing, 78. Beckett's a head start. Beckett's going to come around and walk around him right about the 330 mark. 1050 in the left-hand lane, 130. Mark goes 1190 at 111.91 in the right-hand lane in the Corvette. Sean Flink coming up DeSoto, Kansas, 63 Fairlane wagon. Alan Crum coming up out of Wichita, Kansas, 89 Mustang. Daily driver class on the left, small block natural aspirated in the right-hand lane. Right-hand lane, Alan Crum finishes 30. Sean Flink goes 1191 at 119.91. Rick Presero, 65 Nova wagon in the left-hand lane. I believe that happens to be a twin turbo Nova wagon. Coming up, Sanford, Florida, the 2012 Impala. Wagon's looking a little better, still getting a little salty on the tires. He's going to come right around 880 at 100 per hour for the wagon. Christopher finishes up 1551 at 89.97. Edward Frazier coming up, Lake Latawana, Missouri. 90 Chrysler TC. Bob Lash over there, St. George, Kansas, drives it everywhere, 72 Nova. Bob Lash shows off a little bit of his bracket race skills, goes 049 on the tree. Lash finishes up 1240 at 108. The little 90 Chrysler finished up 1783. James Ford's coming up, Sierra Vista, Arizona, 55 Chevy Bel Air. They're coming up, 01 Corvette, Gower, Missouri. Long run at 55 Chevy Bel Air, 1153 to 119.64. 01 Corvette of Joseph finishes up 1143. Steve Needon coming up, Stockton, Illinois in the 70 Nova. Keith Fox coming up in the newly added gasser class in that 30 Ford blown coupe. .62 is the light for the left-hand lane. A little bit of problems looks like over there for Keith Fox with the gasser with the 34 coupe. Left-hand lane for Steven finishes up 1270 at 108. We're going to wait for that coupe. He finishes up 1543 at 57. Sean Brackett coming up, Hillsboro, Ohio. The 73 Laguna. Right-hand lane for Robert out of Tulane, New York. Finished in front of the 56 Chevy. Good looking 026 light. A little bit of an early start over there for Sean. Right-hand lane for Robert finishes up 1188 at 115. Left-hand Sean goes 1330 at 105 and change. Charlie Zeller over there in an 05 Toyota Corolla. Going to lead the way down the quarter mile for the Corolla. Troy finishes up in the right-hand lane, 1494 in the Camaro, 1795 and 75 for the Toyota Corolla. Left-hand lane, the Chevy Duramax coming up, Appleton, Wisconsin, 67 Chevelle. Duramax takes off blowing smoke, early start for Jacob. Jacob's running that hard-running Chevelle down there. Finishes up with the Chevelle 1044, 128. Strong run at Duramax, 1343 at 103 mile an hour. Matthew Coden coming up. Williams brings Missouri again in that 72. Matthews coming out in that daily driver class goes 12:51 at 110. William Chores also in the daily driver class, 17:41 at 79 is the time. Chad in the left-hand lane out Omaha, Nebraska. Gary Satterley coming up Hickory Corners in the 90 Mustang. In the Mustang, 11:57, 101 in the left-hand lane for the 63 Nova. Richard DePrivnik coming up, Omaha, Nebraska, 37 Willys, four-door sedan. Scott at Hunterton, Indiana, 70 Roadrunner. Richard's off with a pretty good looking 077 reaction time. John Abbott's going to lead the way through the quarter, 11:10. Left-hand lane for Richard in the sedan, 13:43 with a 9, 102. Douglas Tipton, Topeka, Kansas, 64 El Camino. Gary Carter coming up, also out of Topeka, Kansas, 97 Lincoln. Left hike way up for the El Camino and off and running. Looks pretty good for the daily driver class. Finishing up the quarter mile on the left. 1566 and 89. Kevin Harrell coming up in the 2000 Camaro. Michael Crow out of Topeka, Kansas in the 73 Barracuda in the right-hand lane. Throwing the stick around in the 73 Barracuda finishes up for mile 11:79, 1:15 is the time. 2000 Camaro in the left-hand lane for Kevin, 14:09, 99 miles per hour. Jeff Peterson going to the 2010 Challenger in the left-hand lane. Charles Price, 69 El Camino in the right. Touch up out there on the left-hand lane. Just want to remind you again, hungry, thirsty, take a little walk over to the concession stand. Hope you all are enjoying this nice, cool Kansas morning out here. Good weather. I will take this any day over the 110 degree weather we've been having. Competitors, please listen up. I gotta let you know. As soon as you've made a pass that you're happy with, bring your ticket up here, bring your picture up here, get a map. I'm told we are not holding anyone back until 1 o'clock today. You are free to leave once you've got a pass that you are happy with. Again, come up here, turn your tickets, show your picture, get your maps. You can leave whenever you want. Aaron coming up. 863 to 158 mile an hour. Cutlass finishes up 1167 at 116.90. Hayden Robertson, Rockville, Virginia, 89 Mustang. Ross Dudley coming up in the 68 Roadrunner out of Canada in the right hand. Red light start for the Roadrunner. 138's the light for the Mustang. 1195 at 112 for the right-hand lane, 1271 at 109 for the left in the Mustang. Gary Satterley coming up in the 67 Camaro RS. Bryce Hungerford, 95 Camaro in the right-hand lane, Alberta, Canada. Just a reminder again for all you tell your neighbors, tell your friends, maps are ready up here. So you were looking for a map, but we didn't have them. They're up here now. Right-hand lane, 1054 to 139 for the 95 Camaro. 67 Camaro RS, 1291 in the left. Top three right now, Larry Larson, number 1 with a 717. Tim Reed, 816. Ed Enzer, 863. That's your top three right now. Larry Larson just hanging on tight to that mile an hour, 203. Chris Croson coming up. Weewalk, Oklahoma, 03 Mercury Marauder. Steve Quickle, 70 Malibu Wagon in the right-hand lane. Good looking light for both of them. 037's light for Steve in the Malibu. Mercury goes 071 for Chris Croson. Malibu's going to finish quarter mile 11:41 at 118. Mercury's right behind him, 14:71, 94:68. David Kerwin coming up out of Ontario, Canada in the 76 Grand Torino. Neil Sabo coming up out of Ohio in the 1990 Cougar. Grand Torino goes on down the quarter mile, 11:99 with a 6 at 113. Cougar finished the quarter mile, 15:72 at 88. That's pretty close. I've actually raced an 86 Mercury Cougar out here, but I can tell you it didn't go that fast, running 19 O's in the high school class, taking a second place when I wasn't supposed to be out racing. Mike Matty coming up with that 66 Pontiac GTO. Good guy over there in the left-hand lane out of Newton, Kansas. Paul Wallace in the right-hand lane in the 94 Mustang. Mike Matty, real big Pontiac guy, so it doesn't surprise me at all that he's up here running that. Mustang goes 13:59 at 107. Mike Matty, 14:90 at 92 mile an hour. All right, need to make a reminder. Seen a couple people up there on the starting line wearing shorts while going down the track. This is still an NHRA facility. We do need people to have at least a pair of long pants on and a short sleeve shirt at the bare minimum. You guys know how fast you're going. You know the equipment you need. You need a helmet. You need a fire suit. Please wear it. Still going to enforce those rules. Brian Goldstone coming up out of Indiana in the 70 Chevelle in the left-hand lane. Edward Kelly in the 80 Shadow in the right. Looks like with a little trouble. 16:06 at 51. Strong runner at the beginning, but must have ran some trouble down track. 15:53 is the finish at 90 mile an hour for the Shadow. Finished up quarter mile for the Mustang, 14-14, 82 mile an hour chain. John Wishman coming up out of Nebraska, 95 Mustang. George Browning, Sarasota, Florida. Turbocharged Mustang, left-hand lane spooling up. 0-11 for George Browning out of Florida in the right hand. Just cooling on down, and oh, there's a Mustang. Mustang finishes up 928 at 115. Running that small block power adder class. Good looking car. 1450 and 98 for the right hand lane. Jeff's truck coming out of Woodland Park, Colorado. 1370 and 96. Jeff out of Woodland goes 1547 at 88 mile an hour. Saw this Malibu in the left-hand lane. Scott Smith in the 80 Malibu. Turbocharged. Billy Gebhardt out of Phoenix, Arizona in his 66 Plymouth Satellite. Big block car to the left. Big block scoots right on down, 829 at 170 mile an hour. Right hand, 1246 at 112 for the Satellite. Jacob Stedler coming out of Appleton, Wisconsin, 67 Chevelle. Chevelle finishes up 1040, 128 mile an hour. Todd Mashmere coming up, 68 Camaro. Might be another one you want to have the cameras ready for. Going to be out here qualifying for the modified power adder class. Just creeping along that center line there, finishing up 789 at 178 mile an hour. Tom Mashmere pulls up to the second place with a 789. Larry Larson still holding number one. Tim Reed bumped to third. Rick Fox coming up in the 67 Corvette. George Horton, Tannahaw, Texas, in the 70 Chevy half-ton pickup.